I've told this story before, but it's been a while, so maybe it helps to tell it again. So in 2021, and probably a little bit before that, I was having low blood sugar issues. Like, I was getting lightheaded, and you know how I like to go for runs, and I wouldn't be able to go for even a mile run without feeling really shaky and really lightheaded, and then I would come home and I would just eat a ton of crackers and peanut butter, like I would be really shaky. And it finally reached a peak one night when I was making dinner for my kids, and I just got really sweaty and really clammy, and I lost time. Like, there was a half an hour period that went by, and I had no clue what had happened. I didn't remember what happened, and I didn't come back down until I started eating. And that's when I was like, all right, I need to go to the doctor and get a blood test for this and find out what's going on. They tested my fasting glucose, which is supposed to be anywhere between like 75 and 90-ish, and mine was 40. They tested my fasting insulin level, which I hadn't eaten anything, and it was like 4 times as high as the average person. So they then ordered an MRI of my pancreas and found about an inch diameter tumor, which thankfully wasn't cancerous, but it was what they call functional, which means it keeps on pumping out insulin nonstop. So anytime I would eat, within like an hour or two, all of my blood sugar would be consumed by the insulin, and I would have low blood sugar again. So they put me on a medication called diazoxide, which is supposed to keep your blood sugar from going too far down, but it also makes you gain lots of water weight. They had me getting up at like 2 o'clock in the middle of the night in order to eat a protein bar, or one of their clever tricks, drinking a glass of milk with cornstarch mixed into it, which actually tastes pretty good. I ballooned up to 280 pounds just because of the medication and how much I had to keep eating. But the tumor was on the tail end of my pancreas. So when I got the surgery, they had to remove my spleen too, because the back end of your pancreas is vascularly attached to your spleen. If you take off that back end of the pancreas, the spleen has no way to receive blood. So they had to take the whole spleen and half the pancreas. As a result, I am more susceptible to encapsulated bacteria. Things like Streptococcus pneumoniae. They also make sure I get extra bacterial vaccines for Streptococcus, and they also give me the meningitis vaccine, which I have to get every 5 years. But the thing is because of the encapsulated bacteria that I could run across, a dog bite or a cat bite could kill me in less than 24 hours. I could suddenly get overwhelming sepsis and be dead in less than a day. So anytime I have that, I've been accidentally bitten by a dog where I was playing with the dog, and the dog accidentally, like, his tooth scraped me and cut my hand a little bit, and they put me on antibiotics for 2 weeks. Anytime I spike a fever after something like that, they want me to instantly go to the emergency room. Some people have it worse than me. If they're older and they have this problem, they have to take a daily antibiotic. I don't have to do that, thankfully. It was a very interesting experience, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, especially a few days after the surgery when they remove your drainage tubes, because it feels like all of your organs are wrapped around a chain for a lawnmower, and you're the lawnmower, and they just rip it out, and it just feels like your guts are being strangled. It is not fun. But anyway, that's the story.